share with Too Loud Magazine, and we have Reno Wilson.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yes, and he has like the best personality. Dimples in person. Dimples.
Well, we having a dimple battle. You
I know.
throwing yours
Do
in.
I have dimples?
Yeah, you can
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just rolled skin, but
Yeah.
okay. So let's go ahead and get started because you are on Good Girls.
Yes.
And we've been watching it since the first season.
Did you?
Oh my God.
It's good, right?
Love it.
It's a good show.
The idea is like off the chain.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. When I first read the script, I was reading. I was like, oh, this is
Oh,
yeah. All the surprises and
Yeah.
whatnot, the way they write. Yeah, I knew it was going to be. I had a feeling that it was going to be popular when I first read it, so I was really excited to be a part of it.
Well, can you tell our audience just a little bit about it so they can kind of know more?
Okay, if you haven't seen Good Girls, what are you doing?
What are you waiting on?
The first season actually is on Netflix, so you can stream it on Netflix now. It's Good Girls is about these three women. They're moms, they're wives, and for very noble reasons, they end up robbing a grocery store. You know, trust. It's very noble reason that you got to rob a grocery. But unbeknownst to them, the grocery store is laundering money for these gangsters.
Right.
So the gangsters want their money back.
Right.
So they got to find ways to get them their money back, and that sends them down a path of just debauchery and a world of crime.
Yeah.
And that it turns out that they're kind of good at.
Right. And that they don't want to give up.
Correct. So I play a man named Stan Hill. I'm married to Ruby Hill, played by the amazing Retta, and he's a police officer. So of course he's put into this quandary of, and I don't know the first season. I don't know what they're doing, but by the end of the first season, he gets wind of what they've been doing, and he's like, damn.
Why did I have to know? Why?
So season 2, which premiered on Sunday, starts off like season 1 was a cliffhanger, and I have to make choices about what I'm going to do.
Right.
Now that I know what she's been doing, and I did something at the end of the episode. I got a little piece of evidence, so that's all I can tell you. But things happen this season.
Yeah. So we're pumped.
Yeah. What'd you think when I took the pen cap? Have you seen the first episode of season 2 yet?
Not
Oh,
I know, but I've seen all of season 1, so don't you eat.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
so I'm not going to spoil it for you then.
Please don't.
Well, it's out there though.
But yeah,
I do something. I do something, Ashley.
I believe that.
Okay.
Because I liked how you were spending that money, and you were just like, yes, it's just flowing in. It's
your job, right? You got a job, girl. Okay, I'll take it. Nobody's questioning it when it's coming in. You not realize where you're getting all this extra money when you're a waitress.
Right.
You're right. That's a good point.
Okay. So let's throw a few scenarios out, kind of. Okay. So what would you do if your wife, Coco?
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
So what if you found out that Coco is just bringing in the bags?
Yeah.
And
just racks on racks
just
on
racks
racks.
on racks. And you just.
And I realized that she got it by ways that aren't necessarily on the up and up.
So what would you do in real life? In real life.
It's a tough one. I'd do whatever I could to protect, my wife, my woman. Whatever needs to be done to make sure that she's protected. That's what I would do. So
you wouldn't pull a Tekashi 6ix9ine and just like tell all the business because you're trying to be free. You don't.
I barely know who that is. I kind of know who that is.
You should know.
I'm a parent, and honestly, I don't care. But I'm old school hip hop. But no, I would protect my wife by any means necessary.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, by any means.
So your character is a little based off of your real life.
I would say so.
He's such like a good husband. He's a husband that
yeah.
Everybody is like, man, I need that type of man in my life.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. My previous show, Mike and Molly, which I did for 6 years, I played a dude who lived with his grandmother. So when I read the script, and this is the first time I've actually played a husband and a father, which is it's what I love to do most in my life. I play a loving a husband and a doting father, and I especially love that it's Retta. We have this dark-skinned, beautiful black woman, and I enjoy just loving her up on the screen, and that the world can see this solid black family. That means a lot to me, that people can see these images out there. Because I know I didn't necessarily have those images when I was growing up watching TV. So I'm honored to play this, proud black man married to this strong black woman.
Yay.
You know?
Oh, you know what? Speaking
Yeah.
of being a proud black man
Yeah.
and being in the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
do you feel like you have to go above and beyond for different roles, especially if they're really written towards a white character versus
Yeah,
a black
I'm known for taking a lot of white characters, which I'm happy about.
That's a good thing. Mix it up. Mix it up. Mix
No,
it
but
up.
that also is an indication as to where the business is heading. They're
Right.
realizing that, there's so many stories out there, so many different stories that can be told with brown and black people.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's an exciting time in this industry right now because you can feel the tide turning, and it's so interesting. I mean, you go to the Oscars, it's just so interesting.
Right.
It's just more interesting when
Yeah.
everybody has a piece of the pie.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of other little roles, you heard that?
Little
big
role.
roles.
Yeah.
Because you've been in all of the Transformer movies.
I have done voices in all 5 Transformer movies. Yeah.
So,
lucky.
I mean, what was
Shout
that
out to
like?
Michael Bay for hooking a brother up. Good looking out, Michael Bay.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes. We'd like to be in front of your cameras one day.
Right.
I
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so in the first Transformers, I was the little cassette recorder. His name was Frenzy, and he sounded like
Megatron melting, Megatron, wiggy glasses.
And then in the second one, they had, remember the 2 cars? There was a little red car and a little green car.
Yeah.
I think it was Mudflap and Skids. I was Mudflap, and he sounded like, Kung Fu Grip, son, Kung Fu Grip. He sounded like that. And then I did a little character of Brains in the third one. He was a little short thing, and he had long kind of metallic dreads. And he sounded more like this.
Right.
Sounded more like Louis Armstrong, which is what I'm playing in my next movie. So it sounded more like that. And then in the last one, I was Mohawk. And then I was the little thing. Somebody out there can probably tell me. Skids, and he said Chihuahua. He only said Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Chihuahua.
And then I forgot what Mohawk was. I think I based Mohawk on like Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, my name is Shanna. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, all 5.
I bet your role play is off the chain. I bet it is off the chain.
What you need this evening, girl? What you need? What you like? Oh, you like French?
Right.
Bonsoir, mon ami.
Exactly. So I can't. Okay, so tell us about how you felt when you got that call though.
About
Transformers.
it was exciting. Transformers was exciting.
Were you like?
Because I was a fan of the cartoon.
Bathroom, on the toilet. Or?
I was on the toilet. No, I wasn't on the toilet. The first one was exciting because I was a fan of the cartoons, and Michael Bay is notorious for being a strong personality, And I've heard the stories about him are legendary within the industry, but he and I got along famously. Like that's my dude. He called me for every movie after, and to do voiceovers in the booth with Michael Bay is a workout because he's doing 2 movies at once. He's doing the live action version with the real people, and then there's a whole other movie with the animated version with the Transformers. So a lot of stuff wasn't in the script. He's just running through it, and he's going, okay, say this, okay, and I'm saying this, and then I go hard for 2 hours in a session. I'm drenched after, and I think he's a perfectionist, and some people might not be able to deal with his perfectionist, and also he has his own personality tics or whatever. But
that's cool.
We had a great time. I was excited.
That's cool. I love how you can transform yourself into different types of roles and stuff.
Yeah.
But speaking of other roles, so Louis Armstrong.
Wow.
You're just doing everything. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, you need like a laundry list.
I'm trying to turn up this year. This is the year to turn up for Reno. I'm saying yes to everything this year.
2019.
Trying to be a little bit more visible. I've been raising my children all these years, so I'm the type of guy, I'm on set, I go home. I don't really go to many parties. I don't really try. I'm not out there that much. But now my kids are almost on autopilot. My daughter's going to college next year. So now I'm like, all right, it's time to be out a little bit more. But yes, I played Louis Armstrong in this movie called Bolden.
Getting your cheeks ready?
Well, yeah. Well, he's not so much as the cheeks. That was Dizzy Gillespie. Okay. More so Louis is more the voice. Yeah, most people know Louis from like, Hello Dolly, things of that nature. What a Wonderful World, right? But back in the 1920s when it was hot. The amazing thing about the movie is called Bolden, and it comes out May 3rd in theaters, about 350 theaters nationwide. It's an independent film directed by Dan Pritzker, executive produced by Wynton Marsalis, the arguably the most famous trumpet player in the world, Wynton Marsalis. But the movie's about Buddy Bolden. But they say Buddy Bolden is the first person to play jazz, unrecorded. And this is our history, unrecorded. When he was 26 years old, he was put into an insane asylum. And he died in that insane asylum when he was 54 years old. So for the second half of his life, he lived in an insane asylum. Now, in 2019, especially with the emphasis on mental health, we know he was probably just bipolar, or eccentric, like Kanye. Who knows? You know, but back in those days, they just threw your ass in the insane asylum.
And threw away the key.
And threw away the key.
Yeah.
So this movie is kind of a depiction of what it might have been like to have heard Buddy Bolden play. And Louis Armstrong, when he was a little boy, Buddy Bolden was the king trumpet player in New Orleans, and that was one of his inspirations. So I play a young Louis Armstrong in the 30s who, now y'all need to understand this, in the 1928, Louis Armstrong was like a combination of Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, and Jay-Z in one. You know, that was the explosion that created what we're now listening to. Without Louis Armstrong, there's no modern music. Without in the 1920s, early jazz was like hip hop. People thought hip hop was going to be a fad. Right. They're like, what is all that? It was the same thing in the 1920s. But no, he changed the game. You know, he built doors and then knocked them down. The other cool thing about Louis Armstrong, aside from seeing him in the movie Bolden, is that I was already working on a live show about him. It's in the process right now. I'm performing April 17th with Wynton Marsalis in Lincoln Center in New York. And this time next year, there'll be a live show that all you guys will be able to come to and see. And, you know, my goal is to kind of bridge the gap between early jazz and hip-hop today and have everybody know who Louis Armstrong was. You know, we know who he was. Yeah, you know, like the Hello Dolly, What a Wonderful World. That's what we know about him. But when he was
to go deeper into it.
Yeah, when he was younger, Ashley, I'm telling you, he was the shit. Can you say shit?
Yes.
No, Pops. Pops was y'all. I'm very passionate about Pops was the shit, and we need to know who he was and dispel some of the myths about him. You know. Yeah. Being an Uncle Tom and all this stuff. When he, you know, the life that he led, you know, few of us today could live that life that he led. So. Wow. Bolden, May 3rd.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that.
Yes, of course. Yeah. We have to bring up everything. Yeah. So let's do some fill in the blanks. You ready?
Okay.
Take deep breath. Okay. So. Okay. The last thing.
Hold on, wait. Is this something you do? It's like a thing? It's like a too loud thing? Fill in the blanks? Okay. Yeah. All right.
So the last, because we're trying to prepare you. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, damn. All right.
No, I'm playing.
I know.
Okay, so the last secret I kept from my wife was blank.
I don't keep secrets from my wife.
There you go.
I do not keep secrets from my wife.
I mean, are you just trying to be perfect or what?
Well, no, I'm definitely not perfect either. Trust me. I probably am too affectionate, you know, in my relationship. But I'm fine with that. I'm like, baby, nothing, no hugs, no nothing. Right. You just gonna walk by? You just gonna walk by looking like that? But no, I don't keep any secrets from my wife.
Good thing. I feel like
I hope not. I don't think I. No. Okay. I'm good.
So when it comes to romance, I'm king of blank.
When it comes to romance, I'm just so good at romance. I'm king of memory. Like I remember I'm the memory. I remember all the dates.
Okay, so you're good with dates.
So like I celebrate everything. So like for instance, January 28th, 1996 is the first date that I went on with my wife. So I'll celebrate that. And I'll be like,
the first kiss?
I'll be like, you know what?
Kiss too?
That wasn't the first kiss. But I'll be like, you know what today is, right? She'd be like, what? I'll be like, January 10th, our first date.
Aww.
You know, I'm that guy. You know, I don't remember the first kiss, but yeah, that's the kind. I remember dates. Dates. So I think that's pretty romantic.
Yeah, that is really
Celebrate
romantic.
Everything.
Because I forget all of them. But.
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, so the one thing a woman must do for a man is blank.
Support him. Support him.
That's huge.
Yeah, and it goes the other way around.
Yes. Okay, people assume blank about me.
People assume. I don't know what people assume about me. People.
What do you think they would assume?
I don't think people know how I am.
Okay. Okay.
Only because I do a lot of network shows, and I haven't necessarily been in a lot of black movies.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. People might not know how
Yes.
I am.
Love it. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm blank in the bedroom.
Blank in the bedroom.
1 to 10.
No, I don't
Be
think I don't
honest.
know if that's a question you should ask me. I think that's a question you should ask my wife.
She would give you about a 3.
It depends on what day of the week.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna give you like between a 5 and a 10 on the regular, consistently.
Okay.
Consistently.
A good consistent.
Yeah, consistent between 5 and 10.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
nothing below 5.
Right.
Let's be
Nothing
real
below
here.
average.
Listen, I've been married 21 years in June.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You've been doing
So
something.
you just get better.
Right.
And you know, if you're
right.
lucky, you're in a relationship where you get more intimate as the
Yeah.
years go on, you know, and you know, and making love and all those things become more than just the physical act. It becomes more of like a deeper connection with. And for me, the way I approach my marriage, I don't know why I approached it this way, but I try or I endeavor every day to wake up and treat her brand new. You know what I mean? I don't assume that I know her just because I've been with her
Right.
all these years. I mean, you've been with somebody all these years,
Because
but
you're constantly growing and
yeah,
changing.
everybody's
yeah.
changing, everybody's evolving, and you know, even your cells, every 7 years, your cells
Right.
regenerate. So I tried, it's a gift to her to treat her brand new. So I'm always trying to get it. I'm always trying to date her, and it's also a gift for myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't wake up next thing, oh, this is the same old thing. I've been living for 20 years. This is the same old thing. It's
Right.
not the same old thing.
Right.
So I would suggest for anybody getting married and new relationships, treat your partner new every day.
I feel like you're going to come out with a relationship book.
Really? Well,
I do.
I don't know. Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay.
So that puts me higher up on the scale, though. That puts me between an 8 and a 10, then, I guess, because I look at it like that.
Yeah.
So forget
There
the
you
5.
go.
Maybe
Bump
between
yourself
an 8
up
and
a
10.
little
Just
bit.
big up myself a little bit.
Okay, last one. The
Yeah.
last time I smelled my fingers, it smelled like blank.
What is going on? Oh, shit. No.
Oh, you wanted those to dig back there?
No.
Smell check?
That's
Okay.
crazy. No, like that. This German soccer coach. You guys, Google if you get a moment.
Okay.
Because my son plays soccer. This is a German soccer coach. And I swear to God, Google this. German
I'm
soccer
Googling.
coach sniffing fingers, right? He's watching the game and literally he's doing,
No.
and then there's one where he goes in the front of his pants and he's like watching the game. Like,
Oh.
not lying. Google it. The last time I smelled, I mean, I don't just generally smell my fingers, but soap. It was the last time because
Okay.
I wash my hands.
We'll let them make it with that.
You know. Oh.
Okay. Well, I had
That was
fun.
it?
Did
That
you
was
have
it.
fun?
This is amazing.
Oh, yay.
Congratulations on your success.
you.
This is so. I'm
You
so
too.
honored to be on your show.
I'm
you know.
honored to talk
Yeah,
to you, and
talk
you
to your
be a
fans and all that.
great, genuine person. You can,
Thank you.
You can feel it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Too loud?
Too loud.